All right, I'm live. Evan couldn't make it tonight for some reason. I tucked the Imbullyfree flag down. That's why it looks so bare back there. But there's some Imbullyfree. Let me see if I can add your viewers. All right, Haylee, if you're on, are you going to do this? Yes, I'm doing it right now. All right, Haylee, why can't I add viewers to your podcast? Okay, I see you. I'm on my phone, Haylee, and it says add viewers to your podcast. Okay, approved. There we go. Adding you. Can you hear me? Did you get it yet? Let me straighten my beard up. I sent you a request, Haylee. We're getting ready to start here. Did you accept it yet? You're adding, we're working on it. Hey, what's wrong? I'm adding. Well, hello, everybody. This is Bud Collier from Imbullyfree. There's Bully Bear in the back. We have one of our.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
Good. Well, let's get started here. Something happened to Evan because I talked to him about 6 o'clock and he was saying he was going to do this.
Yeah, he actually inboxed me and he said that he said something about acting and he said 9 o'clock and I'm usually in bed by then because I have to work
Okay.
in the
Well,
morning.
we'll do a 30-minute show. Is that cool?
That's fine. That's okay. You're kind of hold on, bud. You're breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Are we back on? I'm adding you. It's working now. Can you hear me? I'm adding. It's adding you, Haylee. Usually it takes us. Okay, now it's trying to add you. Okay, it's trying to add you, sweetheart. I don't know what's wrong with the internet here. All right, add. It's adding you. I'm waiting patiently.
I don't like
Okay,
technology. Hey.
cool. Hey, now how about now?
Yeah, I can hear you a lot better. It said the broadcast was interrupted, so I don't know what happened.
I tried to change the internet connection. It didn't work. So let's get this started. Let's go real fast and catch up. So let's start with who you are, young lady.
Well, I am Haylee. I am the president for Wisconsin. I'm BullyFree.
And how did we meet?
We met. I shared my bullying story on Stand for the Silent. I don't know if anybody's seen the Bully movie, but that's how I
Mhm.
that group. And then you commented, and then you're just like, "Hey, you want to join my team?" And I said, "Sure." And then after I was on the team for a while, helping people out and the kids and stuff, you asked me to bring the chapter up here, so that's what we did.
So what have you done up in Wisconsin? And which city are you located in?
I am located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Milwaukee. The Milwaukee Braves or the Brewers? Are you a baseball fan? So you're in college now. What year?
Yeah, it's my second year in college.
So what is your major?
Right now I'm majoring in for business management.
So what are you going to do with that?
I am trying to open up some type of my own business. I wanted to open up my own daycare, but I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. So I'm not sure.
Cool. Well, so are you going to get a 4-year degree or work on your master's or a doctoral?
Right now I'm getting um my associates, and then after that I'm gonna get my bachelor's.
Cool. That's cool. So as we started talking and there was bully incidents up there, were there any suicides?
Not that I know that over the summer my sister used to go to school with a kid and he killed himself.
Yeah.
So
How old was he?
he was my sister age, so 16.
So your first event was last year, and what was that about that you did supporting
My
us?
first event was last year. It was my first year at Butler Night Out. It was in Butler, Wisconsin. I really didn't know like what to expect, I can say. I was just
Mm-hmm.
going on based off of, okay, let's just try this. Let's see how this works. Let's
Yes.
experience. So that's what I did, and then I learned a lot from there. And then I did another event. I did the Butler Night Out again this year, and we had the bully bear, and we had pamphlets and coloring sheets and just a lot of good stuff. And
So how many kids showed up for the second year?
I'm not sure how many, but I know it was more than last time. I had a lot more people
Yeah.
visit like area, like where my table
Mm-hmm.
was set up than I did last year. So it was really cool.
So did they like Bully Bear?
Oh yeah, they
Yeah.
took pictures with him and everything like that too.
Yeah.
So.
That's the cool. So at the end of the night, did any parent come up to you with questions or an actual how do I stop bullying?
They've they've asked me like, what do you do? Like, do you advocate? Are you here for the kids? And I said, yes, I'm an advocate. I am here for the kids. And they're like, oh, well, are you looking to, speak at schools and stuff? And I said, yeah, eventually, once I get there. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling they want me to speak more at schools, just give presentations and bring the bully bear around and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and did I send you a disc with all of our programs?
I think you did. I'd
It's
have,
it's a, it's a CD, and it's got all of our presentations and our videos and things of that nature. Oh, I'll resend it to you. So as we grow, but like as like we see with bullying, people are not breaking down the door to get us into these schools. or churches or places like that. There's Evan. Evan, hi, Evan.
Hey, Evan.
Evan's waving at us. We love you, brother. Sorry the old man had to step in. Have you been watching Ozark? Oh, I love your shirt. How do we get that shirt?
Well, currently I am trying to save up some money so I can get a good amount of stock in.
Yeah.
And I work with somebody who I work with at my job. He made this design. So he did this whole design, and then he did the lettering, and then there's back of it too. So
Well, what we want Haley to do with the money she gets from those T-shirts is leave it up in Wisconsin. That's your chapter money. Is that cool?
Right. Yep.
So if you sell $1 million worth of T-shirts, send me at least a cookie. But I mean, we've talked so much. So how many kids do you think that you've actually impacted since you started working with the bully programs?
I think I've impacted a lot of kids. Like now, since my friend helps me out too, it's okay, Evan. Now, since I have my friend help me out too, we have a lot more people that actually want to get involved and want to help.
Yeah.
And help end bullying, which is really cool and interesting to me because at first I started this off as doing it by myself, and connected with an old friend, and she came and helped me with the event, and she liked it. She's like, I really want to be, more involved and helping out. I said, sure, you can help me with this. That's not a problem. So now, like, we're coming up with a lot of ideas, and now I'm trying to reach out to, like, there was one person who wanted me to come out to Oshkosh in October for an event. So I'm trying to, connect with her and stuff like that because, like I said, I have to take off of work for it and stuff like that. So.
Cool. Rocky Long's what? You know who Rocky is?
Huh?
Do you know Rocky Long?
No, I don't.
He's an MMA fighter, like 7 belts, title belts that he won, and Emilio's his son. He's talking about being a future a boxer or something of that nature. It's been his whole life. Rocky's still fighting cage fights, and he just had Rocky 2 the other day, him and Amanda. But, well, the reason I love Rocky, he's a very spiritual man, but we've probably done 20 or 30 events together before he moved to Pennsylvania. So he talks to the kids. We've had bully bear camps and stuff like that. And
you've been to camps too?
Yeah, and he does because he's a fighter. He's an MMA fighter, but Rocky is a great guy. And Rocky 2 was just born the other day. A cute little guy. He had more hair than me, and he's only like a day old. And he's so cute.
It's okay, Evan. It's all
we
right.
love you, Evan. Have you been watching Evan on Ozark?
I've actually haven't been on Netflix yet, so I have to get on there and watch it. I mean, I've seen little clips of it. I'm like, there's Evan. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Evan had one scene where his mother overdosed, and he's out like, get in here, help us. What's wrong with her? It's pretty convincing. And the first series, he was in that, talking to Jason Bateman. So I've seen him in 4 episodes, I think, on this one. But I'm up to season season 19 or series 19 or whatever, with the series. Yeah, series. And there's 20, so there's 10, and it's bizarre. And they haven't killed him off yet. So what do you do when somebody calls you up to ask for help?
Like what would we do?
Yeah, or as somebody called you up on. There we go. The internet's slow down here tonight. We had that big storm. Are you still there?
Still here.
So I know we've conferred on a lot of things over the years, and that's one of the things that I do when I get a case. I send it out to a lot of people and get y'all's advice. What should we do? And because we have 20 or 30 other groups that helps when we have an issue, like Michelle down in Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
She
we're
is.
expanding. We're really expanding a lot, and I see that. Like we have a one in Tennessee.
Mhm.
I've joined other groups too. Like I don't know if you know Natasha, but she has
Yeah,
something in Florida that I'm a
I'm.
part of also. So I mean,
Yeah,
really expanding, which is a good thing because we got to let them know that you guys are not alone. We're here for you. We're here for you and your family, and we will stop it. We'll get rid of it. Like it needs to stop. Bullying needs to stop. Period.
we had that shooting incident down in Santa Fe
I remember
with
that.
Demetrius, and
Yeah.
I was talking to Natasha today, and she lives by Parkland, and Naya, the little singer,
Going to that school.
do what?
She's I think she isn't she going to the school?
Well, she's going to do a benefit down around that school in March
Okay.
and or February, and then they're going to Pennsylvania, and then they're going to New York, Syracuse, and I think they're coming to Houston.
Oh,
So it's one of these tours where we're trying to get her voice out, and as we grow, we're going to bring her to Wisconsin and all these groups, and it's yeah, we're excited about that because is that the singer that is the one? You remember Demi Lovato,
yeah.
Lady Gaga? See,
Yep.
you don't hear of them talking about bullying anymore, do you?
Nope.
I mean, I love what Lady Gaga was doing. I think she's more on the LBGTQ
Mhm.
programs and stuff like that. Haven't seen Demi Lovato do much, and I'm not shaming these people, but people get on the bandwagon for a while, then they're off. We'll get a parent that we're helping, and then after their kid goes to college, they're done. Or after they get through the process, they go and strive. So we've helped quite a few people, and it's just not me. It's Haley, it's Michelle, it's Cherie down in Tennessee that we talked to. You know, uh, so do you have anything coming up in the next few months or?
Not that I've know of. I'm trying to what I've been doing is doing a lot of research, like see if there's any
Yes.
events that I can get into just around in Wisconsin. Because like I said, I don't mind traveling at all, and
Yeah.
whoever live, I am posting it on my page once we're done. Um, if you just feel free to like share it and just get the word out there. Like I'm willing to travel and I'm willing to to go to any events, or if you want to help me like get into a school or something, like that would be
Yeah.
great. Willing to do
It's
help to end bullying.
Evan and I do a lot of schools. We do the Down syndrome walks and things of this nature, but it is tough just to do an anti-bully rally. There's not enough people interested in it
Right,
because of that time. We've
right,
never had the million person walk for bully, have we? In any state.
right.
What's the event we're doing? What's the big event you're doing, Haley? You just did it. Well, yeah. What was we talked about that earlier? That what was the name of the event again, Haley?
I joined in something called National Butler Night Out. It's a
Yes.
event. It brings everybody together. So we had the bully bear. We did.
Were there 1,000 people there?
There are a lot. I can't. I don't know. I don't think there's 1,000. I think there's like 500 to 600. But
Yeah,
there's
those are big events for. But what was the event about? Just bringing the community together?
just bringing the community together. We got to take. I don't know. I don't think you guys have Chick-fil-A down in Texas. Do you?
Yeah, we do.
You do?
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, we got to take a picture with the cow. The bully
Yeah.
bear did. So that was really cool. And then with the hockey player, the Admirals, the Milwaukee Admirals, we got to take a picture with them too. So
Well, see, now that might be something that you might want to do is see when you approach those teams, remember you're a nonprofit because you're part of us.
right.
And sometimes they'll let a nonprofit because we have an EIN number. They might let Bully Bear go out on the ice one night just to say, especially in October. And the worst thing they're going to do is say no. You know, and we see that, I've approached the Texans, I've approached everybody. And see, but one of the big events that we do every year is that softball game for the veterans, with, who Toby Keith is?
Yeah.
Red Sol. He's going to be there. Matthew McConaughey, the actor,
Okay.
and all these guys. So we do that every October. Evan went up there last year to represent us, and so as we grow, yeah, we're in relationship to bullying and growth. These anti-bully groups really got started around 2012, and you've not seen any of them grow to the monstrosity of the YMCA's, yeah, or the Wounded Warriors and things of this nature, because it's a minority of kids that get bullied. It's a minority of kids that commit suicide.
Boy, they're ice skating.
And we got to throw in Mundo wear ice skating, Evan.
I just connected with an old. I used to go. My senior year, I graduated from an online school, and I was reconnecting with my art teacher, and they actually do a topic of bullying. So what she wants me to do is she wants me to be a guest speaker and come in the classroom and
Oh
give
yeah.
out, my advice and my words and stuff
What? So why did you have an online school?
because I was being bullied.
Because and that's kind of how we met too, wasn't it? And what were they doing to you at school?
It was verbal. There was a lot of, saying mean things to me, making fun of me, talking behind my back, pushing me, throwing, like, I sit at lunch, I would sit at lunch alone, and people would throw stuff at me. And it's just,
And how old were you when you left school?
I was,
Were you in the 10th grade?
I left my junior year.
Junior year. So your junior and senior year. So did you graduate from a high school or an online?
I graduated from an online high school.
Yeah.
School district. I actually, how like some online schools they just send you your diploma. I didn't. I got to go in a cap and gown, and I got to cross the stage. I spoke because I was the student class president. No, student council president. I was student council president, and I got to speak in front of 100 plus people. And I wouldn't been able to do that at my other old school. I wouldn't been able to speak in front of 100 plus people. I actually was up there speaking in front of more than 100 people, and I don't like speaking in front of people because I get anxiety. But
Yes.
I fear, and I did it.
I've been teaching, in the military for 20 years and worked at NASA training astronauts. And I'm a professor at Embry-Riddle, an adjunct professor. And sometimes I get excited or apprehensive when I'm speaking to a crowd. And it doesn't matter if it's 1 million people. Well, if I ever talk to 1 million people, I would really be nervous. But if it's 100, Evan and I did one last weekend down at Lake Jackson. And this is one of the first cities where I've personally been to a city where they had 27 suicides.
Wow.
In a little town. It's not a big town. It's out west of Houston. And Brenda George calls me up, and she's a nurse at the hospital. So you remember the HEPA laws, you can't talk about suicide by name. But she sees the attempts, things of this nature. And the cool thing about that event that we went, and it was Stop the Violent. Evan, what was the name of the event we went to? If he's still watching. Well, so the mayor was there. The different judges were there, different churches. It was very religious, trying to say, how do we stop this? These were not necessarily teen suicides. This was suicides across that city. And it was very, very, Evan got up and just broke the house down, And so when you spoke at your graduation, what did you talk about?
If I kind of remember my speech. I talked about, sometimes, you gotta face your fears and you gotta overcome your obstacles, and that, just basically, like, I'll remember you guys and thank you for being there for me and, pushing me, and, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be able to graduate if it wasn't for my online school. It's called iForward. If anyone's wondering, it's called Wisconsin.
What does it cost to go to that school?
$0. None.
$0.
Yep.
And how do you? So type in. Are you on your phone?
Yeah, it's called Wisconsin.
Type in the name so when people get to this point, they can. Can you do that, or you can't type right now?
No, actually, it's called
Okay.
iForward Wisconsin Online Charter School. It costs $0. You don't, you have to go through the application. You do gotta apply. You gotta give them a reason why you want to attend. And if it's bullying, if your child is getting bullied, they will most definitely accept you. My sister is now there. My sister left the school I was bullied at.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bullied. She left that school and she's going to iForward now, and she said she loves it. The teachers are there for you. They care. They want to see you succeed.
Do you do online courses? How does that, like TV courses with them?
It's a live like classroom. You got to go into it's called Jigsaw. It's a live classroom. Like you click in,
Mm-hmm.
then
Yeah, I taught live classrooms with at Embry-Riddle where the students are watching and they're allowed to text you and stuff like that. Hi, Jenny Maddox. How are you doing? We got another person watching. And so have you seen any of your bullies since you left school?
I have. I run into them at my job a lot. And what I do is that I don't know if anybody knows the phrase of kill 'em with kindness, but
yeah.
I will be like, "Oh, hey, how are you? I haven't seen you." Oh, and they'll be like shocked, like, "Oh, you're talking to me." Like, "Oh yeah."
Do they even remember you? Do they even remember you?
Yeah, they remember me, but I think they're kind of like in shock, I can say, because they're not used to like, "Oh, she's actually succeeding." I know a lot of people because I was on a commercial on TV. I was on TV, actually. I was on an iForward commercial.
All right, Evan, you got some competition there.
I was on the commercial to like apply for the school and stuff. I was actually on TV for that too. From prom, they recorded me, and yep, there I go. And everybody's like, "Haylee, you're famous." I'm like, "I know, that's me."
Did you get paid for that?
No, I didn't. I didn't
That's
get
cool.
paid for that.
Well, Janie, if you're still on, do you have any questions for Haylee? Type them so we can ask her.
Ask any questions. Ask away. I'm ready to answer.
Ask away.
There is the shirt I do have on right now, the BullyFree of one. I would show you the back of it, but I'm actually sitting down at the moment. There is a full picture front and back on the Wisconsin BullyFree chapter page. So if you want to see it there, also I was gonna say is that my art teacher is also gonna share my group to the iForward group page that they have on Facebook, which is gonna be pretty cool too. So I'm really excited. I think there's more. I can say that there's more doors opening for me.
But Janie just says, "I'm sorry I missed the beginning. I just got on." So, do you have any questions? Oh, not one. Do you have any questions for Haylee about bullying, or have you ever been bullied? Dun, 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 dun. Let's see if she, I don't know if she can.
It says we have 4 viewers, so hello 4 viewers. If you have any questions or want to ask me anything, feel free to open anything about my bullying story. I'm feel free to tell you guys anything. I'm here for you guys. So,
Well, what do you think they've done recently? In lieu of the shootings in Florida and Texas, have you been keeping an ear out of what the school boards are doing up in Wisconsin?
I've wanted to attend actually a school board meeting for the school district that I went to, and give them the reason why I left. Like actually, I've run into the superintendent, I can say, that goes to our school, and I know he doesn't like me because I've told him about my bullying and he didn't care. It seems like.
Yeah.
shrug like this, and now I'm like, oh yeah, I know where you're from. I know who you are. I did not graduate from your district because of bullying, but now I'm in college, my second year in college, and I'm doing fantastic with a 3.7 GPA. So,
Oh, that's good. So are you on the dean's
huh?
honor roll? Are you on the dean's list?
Yep.
And see, now had you stayed in public school, what would the outcome have been?
I probably wouldn't. I'm gonna be honest. If I would have stayed in public school, I probably wouldn't be alive right now.
Have you ever attempted or thought about
Yeah.
it?
Yep.
You've attempted?
I have. I've actually overdosed, and my mom saved me, and that's how I got into the hospital and stuff.
Yeah,
For it.
but you didn't ask for help from your mother, and she found you that way.
Yep. She was like,
Yeah. So so what got so bad that you wanted to end your life?
no one didn't like me. I was always getting picked on. I didn't feel welcome. You
Yeah.
your lowest. You get to your lowest point, and you just don't. You feel lost. And I
So so you didn't talk to anybody at school. You had no friends.
nope.
Yeah. Oh man. And so, but you're a sweetheart. We've talked a lot over the years. Yeah. And who would not like you? You know.
She's an amazing person.
Well, you remind me of my daughter Candace a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And you remember she went through basically the same trials that you went through because she was biracial and she was reverse discrimination because she looked white. Except as we go on, and she didn't have many friends either. So every day you'd go to school. And when did this bullying start?
It started in middle school, then it stopped. Then
And why did it stop after middle school?
because the bully that was bullying me, we've had a one-on-one conversation with the counselor, which I really
Yeah.
didn't think that was right in my opinion. Like looking back on that, I don't think that really solved a little anything.
To bring
But
both of you in the same room?
yeah,
Yeah. And that what year was that?
that was I don't, so I was 13 or 14.
Was it before 2010?
I graduated 2016. So 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Yeah, I think so.
So see, in 2010, they really didn't attend bullying. They ignored it. There were really no laws. The laws came out in 2012 to where most states had to have something. They had to have policies. And so they used to bring the bullies in with the bully and let them fight it out. And that doesn't work.
Like
That,
he
that's like bringing your rapist in.
right.
Yeah.
It's like he stopped. He stopped bullying me and such. Like I didn't have any problems, but once I stepped into high school, like everything was fine. My freshman year was fine. My sophomore year, thank you, Jill, thank you. My sophomore year, uh, it was all right. I was just it. Things didn't seem right. People
Well,
pointing at me.
did you do any activities? Sing, dance, band,
Nope,
sports?
because I wasn't confident. I wasn't
Yeah.
confident. Being
Well,
bullied, not
did you have a good support from home?
my mom's my main support. So yeah, I really didn't tell her though. I kept everything to myself and I let it all go.
Because why? Because you remember you're 13. Your hormones are going crazy.
Right.
You're unsure of yourself. Confidence level's not there. It goes on and on and on. So how did your mother find out?
About my middle school bullying.
Yeah.
Because I told her I actually told her what was going on and I told her I didn't want to live no more and I didn't want to go to school. I refused to go to school. I was not going
And
to
how old were you then? Like 10 or 11?
for middle school. I
Yeah.
think 13. And the school
13. Okay.
they came and picked me up from my house, and we talked about it, and then I went back to class like it was nothing. So
So was your mom at this meeting?
no, oh,
And why wasn't she there? They wouldn't allow it?
they didn't invite her.
But they didn't invite the other kids' parents?
Nope, it was just a one-on-one with me and the other bully.
Yeah. And was there a counselor or the
There was a
principal?
counselor there. They're just like, they really didn't say much though. It the thing is though, with that school district, they do not follow the policies that they have hung up in every classroom. That's what irritates me a lot.
Yeah.
Because they have a bullying policy. They do. It's hung up in every classroom. I read it all. I read it all the time in high school.
And what was the gist of the policy?
It was you tell somebody, and then they're supposed to do a whole investigation. They don't even do that. They do.
Right.
They don't even do that. They do not do that.
Did they ever fill out any paperwork? See, and now that's some of the things that we do. Well, you remember I've done an audit for your sister, didn't I?
Yep. No, you didn't. You did an audit for my friend, which I am learning how to do audits too. So then
Yeah.
myself.
And what I did for NASA and the military, I jumped out of airplanes for the military, and that's very procedure oriented. Because if you don't follow your procedures when you're parachuting, you're going to get killed sooner or later, right? So, and the same way, if you don't follow anti-bully procedures and get to the bottom of the bullying, what is the end result? Kids are going to self-hurt themselves potentially, or
I self-harmed too, and trust me,
were you a cutter or?
Yes, I used to slit my wrist.
So why did you do that? Who did somebody teach you that or?
No, I mean when you sit there in a room and you isolate yourself, which is it's not good to isolate yourself at all. Not good to isolate yourself at all. When you sit there and isolate yourself and you're bawling your eyes out and you just want to take the pain away, you take the anger out on yourself.
Yeah. So where did you learn that behavior?
Honestly, I don't know.
You just started doing it.
I just started doing it.
Yeah. You know, we're seeing a lot of that where it starts with the self-harm and they'll accidentally hurt themselves to where it's unrepairable. So were you cutting your wrist deeply or just to draw blood?
Just to draw blood.
And how would that make you feel?
I can say when I was doing it, it took the pain away. But that's how people say it takes the pain away and it makes you feel better, I guess. I mean, I did feel better, but then at the end of the day, I did feel stupid for doing it because it's like, okay, why did I just do this?
But
that wasn't
so why didn't your mother or anybody notice those cuts on your wrists?
Because I always wore long sleeve shirts.
Long sleeve shirts. See, that's an indicator for parents. And you know, at what age do you quit giving your children baths and seeing them partially naked? It's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, depends. Our little granddaughter, she's 7, and she's getting so modest around men. She's going through that modesty phase, so she doesn't show any skin. You know, so you never went swimming. You always wore long shirts.
Yep.
We're seeing young men and women cut their thighs where it's hard to detect, things of that nature.
Jeans or leggings or anything that they can hide them, because that's how they'll hide them. Or sometimes you notice that you'll know if they self-harm, you know, they're going through some, because I don't know if they'll put their hand into their like long sleeve shirt and shrivel up and walk around like that.
Yeah. So what did your mother say once she found out you were cutting?
She didn't like get mad or upset at me. She knew I was going through a stage of depression.
Right.
Like, I was diagnosed with depression, anxiety my freshman year, and I really didn't want to, you know, believe in it until I had to go through day treatment and the hospital.
What was the treatment about?
Well, first
or dealing with?
I was admitted at Aurora Physiatric Hospital for a week. So that medication
after you attempted suicide?
in my high school years, yes.
Right. So that was so you're admitted to the psych ward for observation?
Yep, and like sharing, learning coping skills and stuff like that. And then after that, they recommended me going to day treatment. So I only went to school for 3 hours a day. Um, and I also did day treatment for 3 months.
Did
As
that help?
day treatment, yes, it did. I was a whole different person when I first got there, and I basically they say you graduated when I graduated. So I was a lot better.
So what? So give me some examples of coping skills that helped.
Coping skills that help me is I love coloring, and I love like I like peaceful music too, that like smoothes my anxiety. Like I don't know if anybody goes through anxiety, but I like to color like mandalas and like words. I don't know, there's a bunch of coloring books out there, and yeah, it's like a little kid thing, but that helps me a lot. It keeps me calm, like coloring and listening to music, and writing. I'll write my own thoughts on a piece of paper, and then I'll rip it up and throw it out. Like, okay, now that thought is gone.
Like you got Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga. They were bullied, and they went through music for their coping skills. So you learn these coping skills, and you've attempted suicide. Then you go back into the school system, right? And then what? Nothing changed. Were you
No,
still getting
nothing
bullied?
didn't change at all, to be honest. I was still getting bullied. And there's a point where you get fed up and you get to the point where like, I'm sick of this. And you stand up for yourself. And it takes a lot. And I mean, a lot of people are not brave enough or do not have, the courage to actually stand up and stick up for yourself. And that's what I did. And I told him, I said, what is your problem? I said, you talking behind my back over there? I said, no. I said, my face is right here. I said, if you have something to say, you can clearly say it to my face. And the class was quiet. They did not say a word. They're like, oh my gosh, she actually opened her mouth. Yes, I did, because I was tired of it. I'm not going to sit here and keep dealing with this. No, I'm going to stand up for myself.
And then when you start standing up for yourself, sometimes you get in trouble.
Yep.
Is that not true? Especially if you're defending yourself. So, you ever heard of the fight or flight mechanism?
No.
You ever heard of that? When somebody's attacking you, you either flee or you stand up and fight.
And the thing is, though, with that class that was in, the teacher that was in that classroom, she actually comes into my work all the time when school starts. But she had a substitute because she had a baby. And I recently just told her, like, she asked me, like, Haylee, why did you leave the school? And I told her, I said, I didn't graduate from that. I graduated from an online school because I was being bullied. And she was like, bullied? She's like, I hope it didn't happen in my classroom. I said, yes, it did. It did.
Well, would they do it in front of the teacher, or she just wasn't paying attention?
Well, it was a substitute teacher for her, but that substitute didn't care at all.
So how many incidents or attempts did you attempt to tell somebody you were getting bullied where they should have done an investigation? Can you put a number on it? Was it less than 100?
Plenty times. Or when I see somebody getting bullied, like, there's even people who stand in the hallway and bullying happens around you and they don't do nothing about it. They just look at you like, what? No.
Yeah. After the shootings in Florida and after the shootings down in Santa Fe, and there's those other ones, what I've not seen is any of the guys, let's put up some cops in there, things of this nature, but nobody's going back in and starting with the younger kids, and part of their day is how to be nice to somebody.
Right.
I don't see that program out there. See, Evan and I will go into the schools and we'll talk and we'll sing and dance with Bully Bear, get the kids all excited, and we're gone for the rest of the year.
Right.
And so that 30 minutes is great. That might stop the kids from physical bullying, but it doesn't stop them from cyberbullying because it's not affecting the bully.
Behind the screen.
yeah. So how do we go about changing the climate of the school where your teachers care? And teachers do care, but there's so much pressure on them for you guys to do great on your classwork. It's the star testing down here that's more important than things of this nature. So if you look back at it, so you go to counseling, and how long did you do that? Did they give you any medications, or was it counseling?
They did give me depression, anxiety meds, but a lot of people are really weird about it. Once I stopped seeing my therapist and stuff like that, I stopped taking my medication because some medication can be really addictive, and like you do it all the time. A lot of people have their different opinions on this, but to me, I believe that it's just all in your head. So I try to, I just stopped, and I'm like, I'm going to better myself by not.
Well, what were the side effects of your medications? Did you have any? Did it make you drowsy?
Yeah, drowsy, sleepiness. I didn't talk that much. I really wasn't myself, I can say.
So let's go over this timeline again. So you attempt suicide. They put you in that clinic and observe you for a week. Then you come out and you do the daycare, right? Yeah. What was that called?
It's called day treatment.
Day treatment. And so how long did you stay in school after you were finished with the treatments, or still going to the?
It was towards the end of the year, so I only went to school for 3 hours a day because I told them I wasn't gonna do anymore. So it'd be one class. No, it'd be one study hall, one regular class, lunch, and then another regular class, and I'm gone.
And were the bullies in those classes with you?
Some of them were, yes.
And how did they act different? Did they know that you had attempted suicide?
Actually, no one did know, but
Yeah.
my and
Did the teachers know it and the principal?
I think they all knew. They just didn't care. I mean, there was one teacher that I admire the most in my high school because he was the one that, wanted me to succeed, and he knew what was going on. And after all that stuff that happened, he was upset that I left. But I came back because once I graduated online school, because they told me I wasn't going to be able to make it. I wasn't going to graduate. I wasn't going to cross the stage. I was not going to get my high school diploma. So I went back there on their last day of school because they ended early before all the other schools did. I showed them my high school diploma. I said, watch this video. I said, this is me speaking in front of 100+ people.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, honestly, Haylee, we really thought you were going to do it. They're sitting there crying like, they're just like, we're really proud. A lot of people can't do this. I'm like, you're going to say that now because I proved you guys wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So now you guys are upset.
Proud of you, girl. And that, as you look at your that is one of the biggest, might be one of the, hopefully that's the hardest struggle that you ever have in life. And
Yeah.
you hear these people talking, they go, oh, it gets better, right? Does it, after bullying, does it get better?
It doesn't. And not until you put your foot in and you step in and you literally, you have to, if no one's not going to do anything and the only choice you have is to stand up for yourself, stand up for yourself. I'm telling you, you will feel so much better about yourself. You will be like, yes, I actually told them to stop this. Stop picking on me. Stop bullying me. Stop, don't spaz out. Just tell them, hey, can you please stop? You are hurting my feelings. You are hurting me. Please, just.
Did you see the incident where that 6-year-old young man was beat up and hospitalized?
No.
Because he stood up to the bullies. And I've read some of the article. I don't really read those because they're so depressing. And I see so many.
See that.
He had the cut on his forehead.
Yep.
And these were 5 and 6 year old kids that beat this kid up enough to put him in the hospital. You know,
It's sad.
so
It's really sad.
because he was trying to help his friend. And warnings that I tell parent: if your son's 9 years old or your daughter's 9 years old, and the kid's 12 or 13, and you try to physically stand up to them, they're just going to get beat down more. So you got to watch what you tell the parents. Yeah, I know in Texas, if you're getting bullied and it's an ongoing thing, and you protect yourself, you don't get in trouble, right? But if you get in a fight with another guy, that's not bullying. That's called a fight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So there's that fine line of we get these calls all the time from the parents. Well, my kid got jumped at school, and I go, that's not necessarily bullying. That's called a incident. It's called a fight. That's called an attack. That and you've got to build that timeline. But at one point, if these kids are continually pushing you every day, you have a right to defend yourself in Texas. Nothing happens to you. And I don't know what it is in Wisconsin. I don't know, but each time I do one of these audits, that's what I'm looking for. Do you have that right? So yours was always just verbal.
Yeah.
And did they have cyberbullying back then, or that was just kind of getting started?
Her actually was cyberbullied. They
And
made
what was
they made a Snapchat group, and her friend was in it, and they specifically talked about her.
about good or bad?
Bad things.
And what would they?
Stepped in. I emailed the counselor. That kid was pulled in along with the parent, and they talked. Now get this. There's an incident that happened before on her last day of school. They took a Snapchat photo of her, and they just started making fun of her.
Mm-hmm.
And people they can screenshot that, and they can repost it. Screenshot, repost. So it's out there. It's out there.
Well, what are some of so which one is the one where the post goes away in about like an hour or 10 minutes?
That's Snapchat, but still, once it's out there though.
Still out there somewhere. That's what we tell kids. In Texas, we have David's law, and it's against the. Am I getting feedback?
Mm-mm.
Can you hear me? Okay, I got feedback somehow. But it's called David's law, and if you cyberbully a child and they hurt themselves, you get a criminal charge against you. They commit suicide, you get a criminal charge if you're involved in that hazing or cyberbullying. Maureen Moloch is going to be on our show one of these nights. We're going to talk about her. So we went to Congress. I was up there listening to the testimony on what happened to her son. Simple cyberbullying. Beautiful young man, and he was going to high school from a very middle.
You kind of just it just stopped and you froze for.
All right. So back to Maureen Moloch. Okay. So as we're looking around here, I think we're about done. Yeah, we've been gone quite a while. Yeah, I love what you said. I love the message to the kids. And when you're talking about bullying, you've been there. And all this, and I call it BS. It gets better. And no, it's always there.
Right.
You learn to live with it. Grown-ups still get cyberbullied or bullied. It doesn't make you feel good. We had a stalker on our page that was going on you, and when you're admitted from parties, that doesn't make you feel good. So life is rough. And so would you call yourself a survivor?
Yes, I would.
So compared to you when I first met you, which was what, 2 years ago?
Yep.
About 2 or 3 years ago, how do you feel about your mental health now?
It's a lot better. It's a lot more positive. And this is for anybody, if you surround yourself around positive people, you will feel so much better about yourself, or if you just ignore the negative. I'm so much more positive and I'm so much more happy. My mental health is so much better than it was before. I used to be a little down here and there and depressed and, like, why didn't I just do it, or why didn't I just succeed, but that I don't say that no more. I sit here and I say, you know what? I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad that I'm living and breathing. I'm glad I'm here to be with my family and, see everybody and be able to see the world and see what the future holds for me.
Did you see that video that Sherry White did from Arkansas, the Memphis chapter?
I
You know,
think
she's written a couple of books, and she got cyberbullied because she wrote a book about what happened to her in school from these ladies and whatever, but from her town where she lives in. But she's standing out on the beach in Florida and talking to the kids, because remember, she went from being bullied to a bully. And you see that a lot of time, that fight or flight mechanism. That's what my daughter did. But she's standing on this beautiful beach telling them, once you do this and it's suicide, it's over. There's no ovaries on that. You can't, there's no do-overs.
can't come
Are you
back.
getting sleepy? Are you getting sleepy, sweetheart?
Just a little bit. It's okay though.
So so as we sit here and we're getting ready to wrap up, next week will be, do you know Crystal Martinez?
Mm-mm.
She's been on Machete. She's a movie star, TV star. She's Evan's acting coach.
I wish I could be a TV star. Evan, get me in. Evan, help
You get
me.
on one. One of my other friends, a shout out to Mark Adams. He was a one of those extras in Ozark. So I've got two friends on Ozark. So if Evan ever dumps me, I'll go with Mark.
Evan, be famous with you.
So Evan's going on tour with Naya.
What?
So she'll be down at and Bully Bear's going on tour with him. So he's going to Florida, then he's going to Pennsylvania, and then he's going to New York and then back to Houston during that trip.
I want to come to Texas though. I want to come to Texas like next summer and go to one of your guys' events. Like that'd be so cool.
Well, we're gonna, like you said, the big thing that we're having across this country is there is no funding for anti-bully groups. Not found it. There's not one. There's as I give a comparison, if you hurt a dog or a baby, CPS comes to see you, right?
Right.
SPCA comes to see if it's an animal. But with bullying, there's not a national group that has any teeth to help the kids. You have to help each other, and then you have to go, if it gets bad, you have to go get a lawyer, and whatever that means. And it takes years for the legal things to kick in. So Evan, do you want do what? I was telling Evan.
Thing. I shared my bullying story on a couple pages, and I don't remember her name, but this was just a while back in January. A girl, she was doing a walk for something in New York, and she wanted me to give my bullying story, so that's what I did. And I forgot her name, and I forgot to ask her, like, how did it go and stuff like that. But hopefully it went well because I gave her my story and a picture of me. So hopefully it went well though. Like my goal with the page and everything is that I'm here to help anybody in Wisconsin. I'm here for you. I'm here to, if you are getting bullied, please, please, please let us know. We are here for you. And that bug?
Wants to come on.
Huh?
You still? So Evan's going to be on next week with Crystal.
Okay. But,
cool. Yeah, we're fine. But I had a great show. And the beauty of our shows as we kind of start talking, there's really no script. And I loved your story. And we call that and I've seen what you've done. I've seen you blossom over the years, and you're a great advocate, and big things are coming. No, you are. Oh, I'm watching Evan type, and but I love what you're doing up there. But as we talk with groups of people, it's it's one child. If we save one child, have an impact on one family, I've had a great day. I
Yeah.
don't want things to end up, to where the kids are hurting themselves, et cetera, et cetera. But so keep watching. You're always watching us on the show. Uh, and the name of your page is?
It's Wisconsin BullyFree chapter.
Yes, BullyFree chapter. I loved it. And you're associated with us. We sponsor you. Are you still with the Bully Project?
The Bully Project.
Or that chapter, the other chapter? How many chapters are you supporting?
All the chapters.
Yeah, there you go. And see, as I say, I love what Imbullyfree's doing. I love what Wisconsin's doing, but it doesn't matter who's doing it as long as somebody's doing it. I run into these groups to where if they don't get the credit, they get mad. I don't really care who gets the credit for saving that child. And I got to call Mr. Evan after the show.
I also do have an announcement to make. Like I said, with the t-shirts, I know a lot of people are asking if they can get one. I know everybody wants one. I'm trying to, save some money away so I can get some, and then I can sell them. Also, we do have the person who designed the t-shirt. Also, he's designing keychains. So if you want a keychain, let me know because they are cheap. So I'm gonna get as many as I can.
Cool.
And then I'm gonna order them. So he's making a little design for them, and then we're gonna go over prices and stuff because I have to order it through him because he gets a discount. So
cool.
And this is the front and back too. There's a back side too. It says we've got your back. So
we got your back.
And it says hashtag BullyFree, and then it says at Wisconsin BullyFree.
I love it.
They can look us up too.
Like you said, if we had millions of dollars, but like with the Imbullyfree, I'm retired now. I'm on a pension, and I'm not going to go through my pension for a nonprofit. So, I'm not begging people for money, but the more money we have, the more we have to give back to the kids.
Right.
And but it's getting that word out. So So, are you in with the schools or the mayor or anybody that's helping you up there?
Nope, it's just me.
Yeah.
Me and my friend. It's me and my friend. We're doing this all on our own.
Yeah. And I love what you're doing. All right, girl. I'm gonna say good night. We love you, and Evan loves you. I know if Evan was here, if Evan would have been it, but
I still feel bad.
No, Evan's a good man, and that's why me and him work so well together, and but so do you have anything else to say to our crew tonight?
Like I said, whoever's watching this, I am sharing this on my page. If you guys are going through anything, I know school just started, but we are here for you. We're here to listen. So just send us a message, and we love you guys. Stay strong. We're here.
Oh, well, before we go, have you been watching America's Got Talent?
Nope.
There's a young man, I forget his name. He made it to the finals, and he has Tourette's, and he's a comedian. And he made it, and he's so funny. And he takes his disability and talks about it and jokes about it and stuff like that. So he has this eye twitch, right? He does this a lot. That's one of his Tourette things, especially when it's excited. So he said he was at a party, right? This is his joke, right? Now remember, he has this eye twitch, and it was biracial party, right? So since he was the only white guy there, the cops thought that they had him captured or whatever, and so the cops go, if you're in danger, blink. So remember, he's always twitching. So he's trying to hold his eye up so he doesn't twitch. That was so funny. So these cops are going. So if you're in harm's way, blink twice, and he's always blinking. That's what he does with his comedy. So to go from there, a guy that walks on the stage and makes it, and just like our little Evan, you know, look where he's at. I remember when he started wanting to be an actor, and I know your business is going to do well, and so you always have our support, and we love you, and we're out of here. Can we go?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Well, keep me posted, and I'll post this up on the BullyFree page. Okay, you can
All
put
right.
it up on. All right. So we thank you for everything, and thanks for your story. Your story is incredible, and you are a survivor, and
Thank
I'm so
you.
proud of you. I've seen you grow so much,
I
from
know.
from a timid little girl to now almost a grown woman. You're
Yep.
in womanhood, and you've helped kids. You're in college, and I don't see you stopping after this show. I think this is a lifetime for you, and that's what we need. Because someday I'm going to get too old to be doing this, and you are our era parents. And you know where we are with bullying is you ever heard what is it? The Mothers Against Drunk Driving. You ever heard of that program?
Yeah.
It took that group years to where now it's illegal to drink and drive. And you're drinking and driving costs you a lot of money. But before that, nobody did anything about it.
There's
Even
also
if there
some stuff
were,
called. There's something else called Gardens of Children. I think
what
so
is that?
too. Gardens of Children. They help kids that are getting abused, so they give them the
Yeah,
support they need, and they help the kids, which is good. I want to try to connect with them though and see
cool.
if
Well, and if anybody needs to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Through Facebook chapter?
Yep, either through Facebook. I'm also getting a PO box soon. So if anybody want to like send letters or anything too, I'm also gonna start getting a PO box. I don't have a phone or like a home phone. I have my cell phone, but if you really need to talk over the phone, I'll give it out.
Okay. But the best way is to go right through
Yep,
the
right through.
chapter and send you a message.
Yep, it's
Cool.
okay, Evan. It's all right. Don't feel bad. It's okay.
Are you okay, Evan? You're not in trouble. You're not. Bully Bear's gonna get you. Or I'm gonna fly Rocky down, Rocky 2. All right, I'm really gonna close this time, girl. Okay. But this was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. Yeah, considering it was put together on the spot and cool. All right, Evan, we love you. See him hitting his little piggy. We give Evan a call. Okay. We're out of here. Okay. I'm finishing up. Thank you guys. I'm BullyFree. My phone number is 713-47. About what you should be doing. What are your child's rights? So I got to get Evan on the horn here. We got some big plans coming up here next couple of months. And America, if you have problems, contact me, Evan Vazettis, Haylee Arntz, all of our groups out there, and we're here for your kids. We just don't want another kid to not finish school because of bullying or hurt themselves. So it's Bud Collier from I'm Bully Free, my sidekick Evan. And Evan, you want to come on? We can keep this going all night. All right, I guess I'm going to finish. Let me see if Evan wants to come on. You're on there. Oh, my cousin is on there. Michael. See if my cousin wants to come on. I love this. Let's see if he's still watching. Are you coming on? Is it trying? Call me on the phone. I will. I'm trying to add my cousin. I haven't seen him and talked to him for years. I'm adding. All right. And thank you from I'm Bully Free and our staff at I'm Bully.